Welcome to SpeakEasy Online. It's November 2024, and I've got a notice about Citizen F has a book launch in Maryport, all being well, on Thursday the 28th of November at the Shipping Brow Gallery. But we just need a few people to sign up and book in advance, or they might call it off if there's not enough people booking. But tickets are £5, but that does include a glass of wine. And his book, 77 Days in My Head, is available for £12. Published by Coldew Press. That's why I'm doing the hard sell. There it is.
Phil, what was the date again?
Thursday, the 28th of November, at 6 p.m. at the Shipping Brow and Gallery in Maryport. All being well. It's an interesting. Sort of started out as a lockdown journal, and he had to change the names to protect people who didn't want their lockdown experience shared with the world through their own identities. And it's quite moving, really, and he's quite open about the mental health aspect and other things that were going on at the time. And there's lots of pictures and some artwork and things from when they were able to go out and walk along the beach in Maryport. And it's just a different experience of lockdown. And there's some of the artwork on the back there. That's quite colourful, although it's black and white inside. But it's shots of Maryport Harbour and the surrounding landscape. So yeah. Good book. Oh yeah, because Christmas is coming, and if you are looking for gifts, that's a good one to have. There we are. There's the plug done. All right. There's other books available, not just from Coldew Press, but from other places as well. Okay. If anyone else has any other notices, I'm sure we'll get to them across the course of the evening. There we are. It's just as slick as you remember, John. Eh? It's just yeah. Even slicker, yeah. And I know Brampton Poets have got an anthology in the works that is. Whoa, that's the proof copy. Oh wow, yeah. I got one of those as well. Yeah, that's coming soon. We just need to get the printers to sort it out. All good. So hopefully in December that'll be with us, just in time for the festive season, and we'll see where we are. There might be some other books as well. Anyway, rambling now. I wrote a poem the other day, a song about the cold weather, and I'm going to inflict it on you now. It's called "There's a Snow Globe in My Heart." Let's see what happens, eh? All right. There's a snow globe in my heart. When you shake me, I start to knowing that little snowflakes will soon be falling. As my whole world gets turned upside down, causing a blizzard, you started it snowing as those little snowflakes float to the ground. And you had no way of knowing you'd started it snowing. When you shake me, that's when it starts, 'cause there's a snow globe in my heart. Icy symmetry in jagged little frozen gems. Swirling clouds of white, frozen stars of spikes, each burns my skin with a kiss's sharp, sharp sting. A million thoughts cascade, they spiral in a flurry. My body starts to tingle, it all hits me in a hurry, as my coldness is chased away by your warmth. You had no way of knowing you'd started it snowing. When you shake me, that's when it starts, 'cause there's a snow globe in my heart. And that's that one. Thank you very much. There you are. And there'll be other weather-related forecasts available online, I'm sure.
Talk to us about it, Phil. How did it occur to you? How easy was it to write?
Just popped into my head, really, and then I realized I could take some of those lines and turn it into that little bit of a chorus, that refrain that I repeated twice, and it sort of just slotted in to place really. And then I sort of looked at it and thought, that's a thing. That'll do. This came to me yesterday, you know.
Is it a pantoum?
Say again?
Is it a pantoum?
I don't know.
I can't honestly remember. The repeat lines thing is, yeah, anyway.
Well, it wasn't intentional, but yeah. Oh no, it isn't. Oh yes, it is. So, anyway, I'll look into that, George. More wisdom. More wisdom. Who's next? John, have you got something for us?
Yeah, I'm going to read one of the ones from the anthology. So Phil is publishing for us the next Brampton Poets anthology. The big thing for me about these anthologies is it gives the opportunity for people to actually have their work exposed, and published. But also, we use it to try and get other people to visit the group. So try and show to people that actually anybody can have a go at poetry. Sort of take away some of the barriers and the boundaries. And on top of that, assuming we sell as many as we have of our other editions, we end up with a little bit of money that we can contribute to a local charity. So it's like, how is that for a virtuous cycle? You start doing something you want to do, you end up trying to encourage others, and you even end up being able to help others by making a little donation. So that's why I like doing them, and that's why we do them. But this one will obviously sell itself, because there's a particular photograph in here that is so professionally done. Is that guy a hypnotist? No one is going to look at that photo and then not buy this book, is what I'm saying. Okay, so this is one of the poems, which is written just as a kind of a memory of when I was young, so a long time ago. When I was young, at least one of my knees was always yellow. Wearing shorts was the thing, saving the wear and tear on clothing by exposing the knees. It seemed that everything worth doing involved falling and scraping. You got used to the sight of your own red blood and the repair process, the wound drying, scabbing, itching, scratching, then repeating the errors, new scabs for old. The new skin was diaphanous pink, baby smooth and wrinkle-free, needing light and air. But the thing I remember the most was the sting of the iodine, the yellowing of the skin. Yow! It was worse than the wound, a caring mother's method of combating infection. I came to believe that bright yellow was the natural colour of a young boy's knees, because when I was young, at least one of my knees was always yellow. And it's true, it's a true story.
Fantastic, John. I'll say that photo is also the profile picture on Zoom for me as well, so that gets everywhere. that was great. I've just had an update from Craig saying he's got 10 people booked for his book launch. I mean, Citizen F for his book launch in Maryport. So it's going ahead on the 28th. Fantastic. Okay, Roz, we're with you.
I have to unmute myself. I booked a thing at Craig's thing. I don't think he'd be that bothered to have me since I've already bought the book. He won't care. Right, I'm going to read you the Autumn Strippers, which is one I did last week, was it? Whenever we had the Poets Out Loud. Always cheerful and compliant, stand the undressing deciduous trees, who show off their colourful underwear as they divest themselves of all leaves. Then they gleefully throw them out to the breeze, who seems to find entertainment there, as excitedly it tosses them around in the air. But now, with their true form revealed, the trees stand naked, strong and defiant. And that was all there was to that. I think I should have written a bit more to it.
No, that was lovely. That was good. So that was inspired by the autumn leaves. That's good. I mean, the colours of them have been so very striking the last few weeks, but it's now yeah,
it's the picking up them that I don't like.
yeah, we've definitely moved into winter this week, so yeah. Thank you very much, George. We're with you.
Thanks, Phil. I was watching Taskmaster the other night. This is just by way of a preamble coming in. It's got nothing to do with the poem, except that someone, well, Finola actually, suddenly put up saying monorhyme and sending something on Facebook that had put up a monorhyme poem saying, you have to do this. So I don't ignore instructions from Finola. So I started writing a monorhyme. But I'm afraid this is only 13 lines because I was trying to half listen to Taskmaster at the same time and realised I was missing too much of the Taskmaster and trying to do this. So this is the monorhyme challenge. I simply could not decline a challenge to write a monorhyme. Grab this pen and take time to fashion a poem as fine as any I constructed line by line. My wit free to design patterns to delight this paradigm. Where ego flies without confine, a rampant self no caution will refine. This conceit is all mine, and I ask you to define my madness. I consign to you a pantomime.
That was great, George. Oh yeah. So, and you were trying to watch TV at the same time as writing this?
I was trying to watch I think it was the final episode of Taskmaster as well. So I'm kind of half listening to Taskmaster and trying to write. I thought, what can I use as a rhyme? Which is often a good way to start. And then in the end, I just wrote down, I cannot decline, and decided I had to stick with that and see where the hell it took me.
Well, it
But I
worked.
just realised, I kind of thought there's quite a lot of things that rhyme with ein, it seemed to be in my head. So it wasn't totally, I didn't sort of pick something like, I can't think, I can't think of a really awkward, like onion. No, not onion. What's the one that there's only one rhyme to? Is it orange or something?
Yeah, or purple or something, or silver or something.
Yeah, there's some, but I mean, yeah. So I didn't write down a whole lot of rhymes. I suddenly thought that's one that I can probably find rhymes for.
It worked. It was good. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll see if I can find a poem that's got orange and purple in it. Let's see. Let's talk amongst yourselves. Oh, there it is. All right, this is my Halloween sort of poem. Which it was Halloween recently, I mean, within the last month. All right, this is the sign of the times. Scoop out. Oh, no, that's wrong. That's the second line. There's a sneak preview there. All right, sign of the times. Time to get out the knives and slice off the cranium. Scoop out the insides and carve a scary face. You soon smile as you greet the jack-o'-lantern. A lone lit candle flickers and throws darting shadows against the walls. An amber glow emanates from the sphere of orange. A spectral figure in swirling robes of night beckons you forth. She offers to you the witch's brew, a bubbling cup straight from the cauldron. Frothing, fizzing, foaming, swirling juices. You pause and note the recipe. Eye of newt, tail of newt, leg of newt, basically just newts. The bat's flown the belfry and the frogs hopped it. You stare down at the old tin beaker, this burping, slurping, churning liquid, not quite blood red nor maroon, but just the right shade of purple. Your eyes widen and you take a breath as a vortex of unidentifiable gases escape the swirling whirlpool. Mulled wine? You've got the wrong bloody holiday. Christmas is still weeks off. Go away and come back in a month or so. With a cackle, she shrieks and hops on a broomstick, no doubt borrowed from the Harry Potter merch, and flies away as you begin another forlorn search, and eventually leave the Emporium empty-handed. To myself, I quietly ponder, perhaps I'll come back on Black Friday. And that's that one. Thank you. The crowd goes wild. Thank you very much. Yeah, we'll maybe come back to that theme later on. Right, John, what you got?
In preparation for Halloween, I was taken for the first time ever to something called a pumpkin field, where down south they have this extravaganza built around the pumpkin field. So there were hundreds, because it was down south, hundreds of cars parked in muddy fields, slipping and sliding all over the place, just in order to pay money to go into a muddy field, try and avoid falling on there and pick up a pumpkin, and then carry it back to a little tent, a little marquee, where they had 4 sizes of holes. And depending on which hole your pumpkin went through, depended on how much you paid for them. I thought Halloween was never like this when I was a lad. I was lucky if we could bob apples, never mind anything else. Anything. Anyway, much more seriously, there's one of our poets who was bullied at school, had a hard time at school, and one of the fantastic things is that poetry is given a means for expression and for kind of in a way answering back. And I just find it amazing. So I'm going to read one of hers, and it's called Don't Look at Us Like Cake. When they looked at me, it wasn't me they saw. They saw a cake half eaten, but I am so much more. When people hear disabilities, no matter what they are, some immediately assume that person won't get far. They decide they know if we are capable or not. But believe me, that is utter rot. We are individuals with different strengths to yours, and just as deserving for newly opened doors. So to be a better person, kind and not opaque, think twice before assuming, and don't look at us like cake. Our qualities shout out loudly, and we see things another way. Oh, we can really shine if you listen to what we say. So instead of fearing disabilities, value the gifts we bring, celebrate our differences, and give us a song to sing.
Bravo.
Yeah, very good.
That's Ali Schofield, isn't it? She's wonderful.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she reads it much better than I do, by the way. Yeah. But it's a very powerful, and it's a very powerful sentiment, and it's I think it's very meaningful when you hear almost the victim speak, because they don't always get the opportunity. Yeah. So to be able to do that and to put it into those kind of words, which I think resonate, I think is just fantastic.
Yeah. And funnily enough, it almost ties in with the Taskmaster thing this year, which had Rosie Jones in it.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Really brilliant. Thanks, John. Thanks for sharing.
Okay, we'll move on to Roz.
Yeah.
What have you got for us, Roz?
I was going to say, Jackie belongs to this group called Diverse, which has got, she's autistic and other autistic people in it. And they're putting out a booklet, and I'm going to the launch on the 10th of December. And she'll probably come back with me then and they read some poets, which is on the 11th. So I've got to get to Bristol and back before poets on Wednesday, on Tuesday. Yeah, I will get there. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention her booklet because they're selling it for their charity. Obviously. Right. What am I doing? I'm reading something. You can have this one, which I actually wrote on bonfire night when I was driving over the A57, which you may know is the Snake Pass. And it was really spooky, and it wasn't particularly written for Halloween, but it came out more like Halloween. And I called it the A57. There is an eerie light as the sun looks up the sky, bringing a sense of foreboding to the gloominess of the gathering darkness. When we begin the drive across the Snake Pass, as we climb, clouds form in strange pools below us and cast spectral shadows in the fading light. The open moor has already made featureless, even before the fog descended at the head of the snake. Bravely we continue, following the road downhill through ranks of trees with dark trunks that stand like ancient sentinels, their black skeletal branches meeting in archways in front of us, forming arm-like spooky tunnels with bony-fingered stick hands that reach down to drag us further into the darkness below. From within the depths, a few lights twinkle, siren-like, calling us on to our final destination, the cathartic city we know as Sheffield. And that was my journey over the Snake Pass to Sheffield.
Yeah, it was very evocative of the like the mist coming down and the trees, and yeah.
It was really just what I was looking at.
Yeah, spooky times. We've only got about a minute and a half, so if I push the magic button, we sign back in, and then George, it'll be you. How does that sound? Okay?
Fine. Yeah, I'll try and get back in.
I've got a few of them poems that end on the same sound or the same rhyme. What do they rhyme? Same sounds. I just don't know where they are.
Oh, that's cool. You can have a look for them, Ros.
Yeah, I'll just have a rummage. You carry on.
Okay. Well, we'll pick up with George. What have you got for us this time, George?
Right, this is another of my, sorry, I can't even speak. Another of my original tapes. I was actually just talking to my sound guy this afternoon, and we're hoping to manage to move forward with that. But this is an original tape, which was written, I think, at a workshop. I can't remember. Anyway, it's kind of been a workshop. 18th September. Trees come to Dunsinane. The trees at Burnham Wood have come to Dunsinane. All my certainties have fallen, and I am besieged beyond walls I thought were impenetrable. Some things I built, some things were built for me, and yet all structures fall and all must one day come to dust. There are plains stretching towards the horizon. There are seas washing across the beach. Nothing stands and nothing ever lasts. Is this the truth of it? We are but here for such a short time. Nothing that we thought was worthy is ever worthy of remembrance. Nothing we ever thought was dust is ever dust. One day, some day comes that makes of pebbles and of sand. Somewhere a wall was built that will last for but a time. It's time. This time was mine and I did not know it.
I love that last line. Wow.
Yeah,
Thanks,
that was
George.
great. That was great, George.
How long does it take you to write something like that?
Sorry, that's an original tape, John, so that's just recorded straight onto the phone. That's just an idea that I had about all my certainties having fallen. I mean, I don't know. I find that as I'm getting recently, the last few years, things that I thought would be forever, like women's rights and integration and people being caring and peace, that I thought we had gone beyond. I mean, I suppose it was a foolishness in that I thought that, but there were certainly things that I thought that people had accepted so much of the place for women in society that would be a known forevermore. And now I see more and more these things being eroded. And things like equality and hope for a better future being. Not that everyone had the same view of what that should be, but I thought there was a kind of general underlying consensus. And I had this thing about, Macbeth and the witch saying, Burnham Wood shall come to Dunsinane. And then all his certainties disappeared.
You just spoke that spontaneously onto a tape.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Of course, we can all do that.
Yeah.
For goodness sake, George, take some more time over it.
Yeah, I'm a lazy bugger.
Don't say that. That's making us all feel even worse.
No, it's just something I've been doing, John, for a few years now. I experiment with this, that I think sometimes we put a thing between us and poetry, which is the page and the pen, and we think too much about it, especially if we've been doing it for a while. We start writing poems for poets, and we should just let our mind say what we're trying to say, and hopefully it works. Someday you might be able to buy the book and also the recordings that go with it, John.
I'm going to go for the recordings. That'll be.
You need to buy the book to get the recordings.
Oh, do you? They come as a package.
Well, it's not done yet, but
He's selling it already as a package.
I've been I was talking to my sound guy today because I don't understand this about how you do it, but he was telling me that everything's okay. So we're just, he's got 105 recordings of mine at the moment, so we're going to try and choose 30 of them.
Wow.
That might be for next Christmas.
Yeah. I'm hoping this is the books that I'll keep publishing until I'm 150.
I can't see why not.
If I can keep writing 30 a year, you see.
That's good, man. That's good. Cool. Thank you, George. That was brilliant. And yeah, I think we're all thinking, why can't I write something like that?
We'd say just try it.
Yeah.
Just try it.
See, this is the wisdom. This is the wisdom we need at these meetings. This is good. We're learning. It's all good. Right, I think we've reached that point in proceedings where we could have a little story, if we want a little story of everyone's favorite feathered vigilante detective. Yay! This is just for George, really. This is Kung Fu Penguin, series 3, episode 7. I will do a bit of a preamble for those of us who haven't been keeping up with the adventures of Kung Fu Penguin, but it might not make any sense. So just go with it, John. It's for the best, really. Let's see if I can remember all the voices. Let's see what happens. The first series we did, it was kind of a bit like The Wire. He was investigating a narcotics ring and things. In the second series, there was sort of shenanigans going on at City Hall, and nefarious goings on and corruption. And then this third series is straying into the realm of the paranormal and what have you. So we'll see where we go. Here we are. Previously, private investigator Kung Fu Penguin and disgraced physics professor and paranormal podcaster Davinia Brush at long last found missing archaeologist Professor Schrodinger when they and their companions, mystic Alaska May Fortune and space adventurer Ray Bean, are abducted by General Malaise of the US military. Professor Schrodinger was in possession of an artifact he discovered 30 years earlier at a dig financed by eccentric millionaire Brian Piccolo, which appears to be of interest to the General, along with a number of other mysterious characters. Professor Schrodinger isn't quite himself, and repeats a combination of numbers, which our heroes deduce are coordinates that revealed to be a location in the Mariana Trench. You keeping up with it so far? Okay. Our heroes find themselves accompanying Professor Schrodinger aboard a submarine, sent to reveal what significance the underwater canyon has for the professor. General Malaise watches over the crew, who look at computers and dials as buttons flash. A sonar monitor's needle sweeps around and lights blink. The Mariana Trench is the equivalent of an underwater Grand Canyon, but even deeper, and it's never been fully explored, General Malaise explained. And you getting all this for your Dr. Bobcat Investigates podcast? Kung Fu Penguin asked Mrs. Brush gingerly. Yeah, I really should, but I don't feel too good. Maybe it's the pressure. Maybe it's good old-fashioned seasickness. I can help you with your seasickness, Alaska May Fortune offered politely. What do you mean? I can do a little hypnosis. Banish away your illness, no? I don't know. What have I got to lose? Mrs. Brush stared into the mystic's big, round, golden, disc-like eyes. Look into my eyes. Breathe slowly.
Perfectly well. You do not feel ill.
I do not feel ill. A crew member looked up and turned to the general. He pointed at the screen.
Sir, we've reached those coordinates. 11, 21 north, 142.12 east.
General Malaysia, Kung Fu Penguin, and Ray Beam peered at the monitor as the needle swept round the circular display rhythmically. A small white blip lit up on the monitor. What is that?
That's a good question,
grunted General Malaysia.
As bogey at 12 o'clock,
the crewman announced calmly. Ray Beam frowned.
Where did that come from? Did you see how fast that was traveling?
General Malaysia growled.
Says it was traveling at 100 knots, but it can't be. It just came out of nowhere.
It seems to have come to a halt, Kung Fu Penguin observed as he pointed to the screen.
Someone's going to go down there and take a look at it. That means you, Penguin. It looks like you're taking the plunge.
Yeah, I've got a familiar sinking feeling about this.
Well, don't worry. We'll be right here on the radio. You better keep in contact, Penguin. We're counting on you.
Yeah, if I get into trouble, just remember to come pick me up. General Malaysia turned his attention to Professor Schrödinger.
Well, Professor, is this sparking any memories?
Hey, I don't know. It's great to be here on Inside the Box with me, Professor Chester A. Schrödinger. This week we're coming live from the Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean, a hotspot for unusual activity.
Hey, Miss Fortune, is there any way you can hypnotize our friend the professor here?
Well, yes, I guess so. What did you have in mind?
It's kind of his mind I was interested in.
Hey, it's not gonna hurt him, is it?
It's perfectly safe. Do you feel any effects?
No, I feel fine.
First, I need to interject him into the network of consciousness by putting him into a trance. Professor, look into my eyes.
A crewman saluted the general.
Sir, the diver is ready.
Go ahead. General Malaysia nodded to Ray Beam at the radio. Nice and easy now, Penguin. Gently does it. Tell us what you see. Kung Fu Penguin began to swim down into the dark waters, a torch illuminating his path. Sharks glided silently along like lethal living torpedoes. A cloud of translucent jellyfish drifted by with an ethereal, concertina-like movement. The large, dark shape of a manta ray loomed out of the depths, the creature's form gliding with an elegant ripple. Kung Fu Penguin pushed on further. Soon he noticed a pulsing blue light coming from the seabed. He dropped slowly down through the water. His flippers powered him by rocky outcrops, and he ventured further into the huge underwater ravine. Suddenly, there was a bright white flash, and everything was illuminated, brighter than the sun. Kung Fu Penguin had to shield his eyes. Are you getting this? There's some kind of light emanating from, well, whatever that is. Wait, what's it doing? Back on the sub, Ray Beam turned to the sonar operator. The screen was completely white.
What the hell was that?
Suddenly all the power in the submarine failed. Emergency lighting came on and plunged everyone into an eerie blood-red hue. At that particular moment, General Malay's attention was focused on Professor Schrödinger.
Ask him about the metallic artifact he found at the archaeological dig, the one funded by Brian Piccolo.
You can ask him yourself.
Very well. Listen, Professor, Where's the Moscovian core?
I don't know. It's where I left it.
And where's that?
The Piccolo Institute for Science of the Strange.
Piccolo has it. Sorry to interrupt, General, but we have a small crisis on our hands. The General snarled. Report. There's no power. Your systems are dead. And we've lost contact with Kung Fu Penguin.
Oh no! Where is he?
We don't know. His radio isn't working, and it seems he's caught in a beam of light. The unconscious figure of Kung Fu Penguin steadily drifts down, drifting lifeless like a rag doll, enveloped by the white light. And then we segue into the musical number, because I am still trying to pitch it to Andrew Lloyd Webber. It goes something like this. Plumbing the depths in the name of exploration, spooked by the phantoms of your imagination, you're going down, 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 down. Ba-da-da-da-da. Find yourself going under. Keep from feeling all your fears, submerging your inner self, wading through all your ideas. You're going down, 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 down. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Now you're not alone. Find the darkness banished by the light. There's a voice inside your head that leads you to a glow so bright. You're going down, 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 down. Ba-ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Now you're feeling lucid, like being placed into a trance. Will you give an answer as a life hangs in the balance? You're going down, 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 down. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Are you alive or are you dead? Is our hero under attack? Are you somewhere else instead? And will you ever come back? You're going down, 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 down. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You're going down, 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 down. You're going down, 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 down. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. What fate has befallen our intrepid heroes? Exactly what have they discovered in the Mariana Trench? Does the mysterious object of light hold the answers they seek? What does General Malaise want with the Moscovian core? What has happened to Kung Fu Penguin? Can he be rescued? Will we ever see him again? Find out next time on Kung Fu Penguin. Kung Fu Penguin! Wap wap! There we are.
Bravo!
Yay! Woo!
Thank you. Self-explanatory, really, isn't it?
I was just impressed that Schrodinger being in the box, and it was like, yeah, really good. I'm just going to try. That song's just going to keep me awake now tonight, trying to remember it. You're going down, down. No, you're going down, don't you? You go down.
Down, 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 down.
You're going down, 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 down. We could all do this.
Yeah.
This could be a quartet.
Yeah, all together now. Thank you.
Okay,
thank you.
Just an idea.
Follow that, John.
Yeah, I can't. So I can't follow that. But there's a lady in our group who has never been published before. So I thought I'd read one of her poems, just showing really that there's all this talent out there. You just need to find it and record it. The poem is called The Standing Stones. The stones stood tall, solemn, silent in the gathering dusk, The sky, previously busy with homebound birds, now lay quiet and empty. The sun slipped slowly down under the hills, beneath the flaming red horizon, leaving promises for a fine tomorrow. And carefully, quietly, thoughtfully, I stepped along the way for maybe a mile or more, feeling the ancient ground through my sensitive soles as time melded, past, present, and future joined into a fleeting moment, a mystery, a gift, walking on the edge of memory until the dark clothed me and, torch in hand, I turned my face to home.
Great.
So I think one of the nice things, and Phil, you're central to this, and should be continuously applauded, is, you know, if our voices aren't recorded in some way, they're of value for the moment, but no one else will hear them. And I'm increasingly a believer that, you know, like for me, no matter how bad what I write is, I want others to see it, you know. But, you know, thinking of others, putting these things together means a lot. There are people in our group who are bringing out poems that are now five years old, and they're bringing them back to the group and reading them because something that's just happened to them has sparked a memory that has meant something different to that poem that they read 5 years ago. And I just think it's a great thing to be doing, and Phil, the things that you do for people is amazing.
Thanks very much.
Yeah.
I'm also I don't know if I'll be able to get it together in time, but I'm trying to get another SpeakEasy magazine together as well, which I've been doing for about 4 years, and I will try and get it together, but it depends how the next couple of weeks go. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, thank you, John. Roz, we're with you.
Still waiting on that book.
I know. I'm
That was a
sorry.
Christmas present about 3 years ago. Yeah.
I know.
Never mind. There's others coming out, isn't there? Anyway, I just can't find the poem I was looking for, but I found this one, which has a single rhyme at the end of each line, and it's quite short. It's called Born to be Wild, in bracket, Tear Away Dance. Perhaps this is just your next fad, not your midlife crisis launch pad. Either way, your wife thinks you're mad to yearn for a motorbike you never had and couldn't afford when you were a lad. So why not spend your money if it makes you glad? Although I can't help feeling it's a little bit sad when roaring up the road, all black leather clad, comes yet another tear-away dad. That was it.
Oh, and a mono-rhyme, Rod.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to find.
Oh, that was good. Very good. George, we're over to you.
Well, it so happens I have another original tape. I'll just do it. One drunken night. When I was young, I squirmed away from this. Those nights I found I wanted just another glass and knew that I was pissed. And believed this was a curse which came across the years, those uncles, aunts, and others who had fallen, the grandfather who I never knew but knew that he enjoyed his drink. And now I think, what does it matter? I enjoy this. So what if I splatter on a pavement, or walk in front of cars, or jump off a bridge looking at the stars? Who cares now how much I like to drink? I'd pour another glass, I'd take a tiny whiskey as I taught. I said, tiny? You know it matters not a jot, for there will be more and more and more, and that's the way it goes. And there is something here to please. Oh God, I'm on my knees and begging just another for the road. Oh, take me there. Oh, take me there. Oh, take off all my load. That is how it feels when I succumb to this. And now, I know I am pissed.
Wow. Was that just another sort of stream of consciousness sort of thing, George? Or was
Yeah,
yeah?
yeah, sure. Yeah.
Wow.
That was no, it wasn't the same night, but it was obviously a night when I'd been drinking wine. It's maybe too autobiographic, but maybe too revealing. But I don't believe that. I think if you've said it in honesty and poetry, just say it.
That's good.
Folk can judge what they want to judge. Within reason, sorry, there are some things I wouldn't say oddly, but and certainly not that I hope I would ever think it anything misogynistic or racially motivated. But to be honest, I don't imagine I would ever even write that. But if I had a thought that I was trying to pursue, I would chuck it away. I mean, I wouldn't pursue the thought. I mean, the thing would just disgust me. Sorry, I'm rabbiting on now.
Well, not everything needs to be written down and preserved forever. No, that's cool. How's the wine going this evening, George? You came prepared.
I'm taking it very slowly.
Good.
That was the thing about Higham Hall, or not. And recently I found boys used to be exceedingly vivacious and drink, but now they all go to bed at 9 o'clock.
Oh, right. Well, we've only got 20 minutes before that, so yeah.
I know some very well-known poets who might be ashamed to admit to what we got up to at 4 o'clock in the morning. No, sorry, just in drink at 4 o'clock in the morning, playing card games and God knows all what.
Oh, that's great. Was that at Higham Hall?
No. Higham Hall was very sedate. Very sedate. But I did enjoy the Lakeland whiskey from just down the road. I thought it was excellent.
Fantastic. Maybe we could get sponsored by them. Lakeland whiskey.
Well, I don't care if you get sponsored, but I'll take a few free bottles.
Yeah, absolutely. Divvy them up between the four of us.
I'll do an original tape saying a few free bottles. I'll do that.
Absolutely. That's great. Good. All right. We'll probably go around one more time and then I'll let you go. From the sort of hostage negotiation poetry evening that we are in. This one, last time we were on last month, Hazel Stewart was with us and did an amazing piece about the Bhopal disaster, which was about 40 years ago. So that was quite moving. And I got to thinking about the planet and the comment from the president of Azerbaijan at the COP29 climate summit, claiming oil and gas were a gift from God. It's like not exactly on message here. And I was thinking about could there be a link between illnesses and health conditions in people all around the world and the state of nature and the state of the planet? So if your environment is sick, probably the people and the animals that live in it probably going to be affected as well. So this is planet side. So, jolly title. When it's bright and sunny and you feel adulation in your heart, when it's miserable and cloudy, life seems to be falling apart. They say when you're happy, the whole world smiles with you. When things look decidedly gloomy, what on earth are you to do? When the world cries out in pain, you feel it bringing you down again. If people fall sick, air is polluted, soil infected, the rise in chemicals, loss of insects, it don't take no detective. Probable link connects, it seems to me. Soaring temperatures, bleaching corals, rising seas. Our planet is an oasis floating out in space. Humans are responsible for messing up this place. Is sacrificing our happiness and our health worth it in pursuit of accumulating wealth? We can undo these acts of willful blindness. All it takes is a little kindness. Nature has remarkable powers of restoration, not limited by politics or bickering nations. The big question is, can we avert planetside? It seems a no-brainer, but what will we decide? There you are, that's that one. Yeah, thanks. Big questions, and we should really make our leaders, and both in politics and business.
They are big questions, and what we're seeing over the other side of the Atlantic, it's not moving in the right direction.
It's worrying. It's worrying.
So,
John, do you have another one for us?
I'm going to read one of Stuart Turner's. Stuart's been suffering with his eyesight, but there's I think an amazing poem. This one, I don't know if there's a word for it, but when you kind of base a poem on somebody else's. Anyway, I'm sure you'll recognize the one that he's kind of followed with this. It's called To the Hills. I must go back to the hills again, to the quiet hills and the sky, to the moors and heather uplands, where the curlew pipes his lonely cry, where the winds blow soft or fierce, and the leck of the grouse is heard, where the shadows creep to darkness, and the bleat of the sheep is heard. I must go back where the air is clear, and the white clouds pattern the sky, where the cotton grass nods its fluffy head, and the soft breeze emits its sigh. Or on the dark, dark days, when the autumn moans, and the wild geese honk to warmer climes, and moss shrivels on the cold north wall, where the shepherd yearns for better times, I must go back to the hills again. Yeah, so.
Yeah, it was a good one there. Yeah.
And he's just had, I think, his second cataract operation. So his sight's noticeably improved. And we saw that at the last meeting in the way that he was able to read a lot better.
Yeah. No, it's great what Stuart comes up with. It's quite inspiring. And yeah, he's great. Thank you for sharing that with us, John. And Roz, we're with you.
I've just got another autumn one that I thought about when you were talking about snow globes. It's called Glittering Autumn Leaves. No, I really want to put my glasses on as well. Clearing up the rapidly falling leaves of autumn, who in their colourful death throes litter the pathways. The wind strengthens. I hear it coming like a train rushing through the treetops, shaking their branches like a child shakes a snow globe, where I, the tiny figurine at the centre, stand transfixed, watching with childlike wonder as I am suddenly surrounded by a swirl of golden leaves falling like glitter to the ground. And that was just one day when I was out cleaning the path in the garden.
That was great, Roz. So again, you conjured up those images really nicely. That was great.
Did the idea of the snow globe just come to you while you were writing it?
When I was just stood out in the garden, I was just surrounded by leaves like glitter, and it just sort of reminded me of that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
and
trying to make it. Sorry.
back to Phil's first poem to date.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So mine wasn't in his heart; it was just out in the garden.
It was in your head. I got a snow globe in my head. Right. We've got a couple of minutes. George, is that enough time, or should we sign back in? We have sign back in for you, George. And we'll. Oh, he's on mute. What are you saying there, George? What?
I'm not sure how long it'll take, but probably over a minute, I think. Probably.
Okay. Well, are we okay? We'll sign back in quickly for George, and then I'll wrap up. Is that okay? Okay. See, there's my picture, which is in the book.
It's in glorious Technicolor.
It is like
those flesh tones.
Yeah.
That's now like a portrait.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's very good. Who took that?
That was from a big event we did at the university a couple of years ago for the Fryram project that we did in 2018. I was speaking to the masses.
I mean, whoever took that, I mean, they've caught it as a very good portrait.
I think it was off the video feed of one of the video cameras. So yeah. There I am. I'm back in the room.
Oh, you've all moved.
Yeah, we're in each other's houses.
Yeah.
All right. That's been good stuff. Really good stuff. I mean, I know it's just the four of us, but there's been a range of stuff. It's amazing. I know we've been sharing stuff from other poets as well, but that's good.
It's been really good fun, and I've been really impressed with the stuff, John, that's coming out from the anthology. That it's really, really impressive. And I think you're so right about the amount of talent that's out there. And sometimes when I hear poets who are quite well, relatively well known within the circuit, if you like, and they seem to think that they've got they have a talent, but it's not unusual, if you know what I mean. There are many voices out there from people who are less public, shall we say, or less forthright, or more tentative about what they write. Sometimes because they've been told that they don't have a right to do, almost that they don't have a right to do it.
Exactly. There's people in our group who've read their poetry publicly for the very first time through the group, and you can see it means a lot to them. There's people in the group who've actually cried as they've been reading their work because what they've written, meant so much to them. And, when you sit in there as part of the group, you feel almost, is honored the right word? It's something special to be allowed to hear people who are in that situation and are either reading to you for the first time or speaking from the heart like that in a way that means something to them.
Yeah, it's similar to what we have at SpeakEasy as well, and Roz. It's like Poets Out Loud. There's a great group of writers there and poets, and we had some people come along for the first time last week, and they got up and read.
Yeah, I know, it's amazing, isn't it? Sort of sit and listen once and then join in.
Yeah.
They're not that scary. I don't think we're scary at all, really.
But it's funny, isn't it? Because standing up or sitting or reading your words to a room full of people is not necessarily the natural thing you want to do, and it can be quite daunting. But most people will give it a go, and they I think they enjoy that act of sharing their stuff with people and it being listened to and appreciated. And the Brampton group and Poets Out Loud and SpeakEasy and other groups in Carlisle. It's there's a real pool of talent. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And they're all slightly different as well. But it's great. That's why there's a sort of a cohort of a few of us who try to go to all the different groups, and you get sort of different flavors of stuff. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, on that note, George, we're with you. Have you got something?
Right, thanks. Well, I'm going to pick up on this theme or things that you touched on in your poem there, Phil, and also in John's a wee bit, because I'm not sure, I would maybe call this scaffolding, John, but I don't know if that's the term you were looking for. But this is I think, hopefully you maybe realise what this is kind of based on. I have some rhythms. Let's just say it was the animals. This time of the dying sun. I live my life in jeopardy, aghast at what we've done, how we've been the ruin of the gifts we had, and the judgment has begun. My father was religious, he taught me right from wrong. I miss his guiding voice for me as I sing my mournful song. My mother was religious, she had a dream for me, man and earth in harmony, not these polluted seas. My sisters and my brothers, don't do what we have done. Don't leave the world a barren place in this time of the dying sun. So many animals no more, so many lives destroyed, and powerful men in luxury their wisdom have deployed. So money walks and money talks, and money buys our curse. We measure everything in gold as all around grows worse. I live my life in jeopardy, aghast at what we've done. We've been the ruin of the gifts we had in this time of the dying sun. I tell you now, be afraid, for the judgment has begun. Our days in hell are drawing near in this time of the dying sun.
Yeah. Was one of my favorite tracks, that House of the Rising Sun.
Yeah.
But that was very powerful, and I think you kind of used almost for me it was the familiarity of the rhythm to actually almost convert it, or from the song's point of view, pervert it to a new cause, right? And it was so strong. Wow, so strong.
Thanks.
Yeah, George, that was really powerful stuff. Yeah. Well, thank you.
And it's true, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I wish I'd be able to say, George, what a load of nonsense. How could you write something like that? But unfortunately, all you do is you listen to it and you think, that's right. And it may even be worse than that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Although the one thing I would say is that we have this thing about the world that we know is dying, but maybe we should accept that us dying might be the best thing that's ever going to happen to the world. I mean, we're just a small part in the whole ecology that is evolved throughout the years. And I'm sure there was dinosaurs at one time that were all meeting round a campfire saying, things have gone a bit bad recently.
What's that thing in the sky? I think they were saying.
Yeah. It's called Donald Trump.
Yeah, I've said for a while that if humans weren't around, then the planet would be doing quite all right. Thank you very much.
But there is that strange thing that we talk about nature as though it isn't us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's part of the problem that we think of, and we talk about ecology is the way other animals interact.
Yeah.
We've only recently begun to think about how do we interact with other animals other than shooting them.
Yeah.
or exploiting them or doing whatever. I enjoy eating meat, so I better shut up now.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
no, but we've separated ourselves somehow, haven't we? And it seemed to have been very easy for us to separate. It seems to be very difficult for us to reconnect.
Yeah, I think
Yet, poets haven't, over many generations of poets, have not made that distinction or not made that thought. And I think that's part of the reason that literature and poetry is so important and should be taught more readily, because it's very difficult to kill someone if you started thinking about things from their point of view. And think empathy is the thing that we're lacking. We're not empathetic with nature, with the world, with the climate. We think we can change it rather than be part of or understand. Anyway,
Hmm.
I'll get to knowing, but
Well, you've just hit the nail on the head there, really, George. I mean, we just did the Unity Festival in Carlisle a couple of weeks ago, and the whole point of that is to engage people in conversation, to start discussing issues, and yeah, it's by understanding that you can hopefully educate people and start to find solutions or ways that you can make things a little bit better. And by everybody doing the small bit, and hopefully that resonates out, and we can tackle these big issues.
yeah, the problem as I see it is people that Trump and the newspaper and a lot of the people who have wealth take not pleasure but manipulate the way that you can encourage people to hate each other instead of thinking about why are people like this. I mean, it's like the Gaza war seems to me like, why don't we create a whole lot of terrorists by taking children and bombing them and bombing their parents and killing their brothers and sisters and then wondering why they want to kill us?
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's madness. Well, I'm glad
Right, Jerry.
I'm glad
right.
we end on a happy note like this.
Yeah.
I got one more poem here. It's about the commercialization of this time of year. It's Black Friday. It goes like this. Uh-oh, I spy Black Friday. It's that time of year you just kind of dread it, when Christmas is looming and we've nearly met it. The budget, oh fudge it. So what if they say we've not got any cash? But that's no reason to postpone or abstain from our trolley dash. We hop in the car and crawl along the road with every other penny-pinching toad until we reach our Shangri-La, this El Dorado of concrete and glass. Who enjoys shopping? It's such a pain in the ass. And there's a queue in the car park. There's a space. Quick, go, go. Oh, yeah, same to you. Honking the horn. How'd you like that? You greedy selfish. Oh, hey, that's a nice hat. Inside, and it's sail, sail, sail. Ka-ching goes each till. People push wheelbarrows, and up them they fill with discount merchandise. Bargains galore. Got 10 tellies, but there's room for one more. Remember your flexible friend. Plastic cards filled out to the max. Paying 5p's for your plastic bags. I don't know what I bought. I just know it was cheap. Slides through the checkout and collects in a heap. How do we get it home? It won't fit in the car. Really? How strange. That's frankly bizarre. Electronic gadgets always come in enormous oversized boxes. Polystyrene and cardboard ends up in the bin with an instant pop-up playground for foxes. What a waste for something which can often barely be seen. And don't tie a telly to the roof rack like that episode of Mr. Bean. Brake too sharply and your flat-screen TV comes through your windscreen. I've had enough of retail therapy. It ought to be banned. So much for goodwill to each woman and man. In households across the land, questions are asked. How can we afford to pay the bills? We'll put it on credit. After all, it's that time of year. you just kind of dread it. There you are. That's the perils of Black Friday and commercialism. There you are. Well, thank you all for joining in. It's been a good little session. Lots of really good poems shared. Give yourselves a round of applause for reading tonight. Everyone who read and everyone who listened. That's good. We might do one next month. Depends how many Wednesdays there are in December, because I believe Christmas is happening on a Wednesday. Because Christmas is on the 25th this year, and that falls on a Wednesday. That's an old speakeasy in joke. Anyway, yeah, it's good to see you all. Have a good one. And remember, there's Citizen F's book launch on Thursday next week, the 28th. We've got an in-person speakeasy on the 27th at the Source. There might still be tickets for John Hagley at Askham near Penrith on the 29th. So check Eventbrite for that. But yeah, it's been good. Get home safe. And we'll do it all again sometime soon. Thanks very much, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Cheers,
Thank you
Phil.
very much, Phil. Thanks, George. Thanks, Ross.
Thanks, everyone.
Cheers. Thanks. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.